Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Andrew, Relax Radio, Lunch Munch Show. Like always, Monday to Friday, y'all need to get the app and get the app on Android or iOS and get with us live from the app as well. And you know, uh, have a good time like we always do. Um,
Online, on the iOS and Android, on your mobile phones, Bengali's biggest conversation around the globe. This is Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
yep. It's another day of the weekend. It's Andrew, Relax Radio. It's the Lunch Munch Show, and we always have a good time over here. And it's another day of having a good time. So we kickstart the day with everything that's nice, and it's the summer. And I mean, everybody's trying to go out somewhere and have a good time at the beach. But work calls, and we're here, and we're delivering what we do deliver every time, and constantly having fun and informing, educating, and entertaining everybody here. And I know there's somebody else there that's at work as well. That's wouldn't be saying having a good time, but doing what is right for themselves and their family. Because you know, as men do, we have to get out there and hunt for food. You know, and hunt for food. And now that hunting for food is, we ain't chasing after animals, and we're chasing after the money that buys the animals. Yeah. So we continue to live, and you know learn new things from new people, meet new people, and learn new things, and you know adapt to new environments, and adapt to new circumstances, and see what's good and see what's not, and we start to shade off things. And from time to time, people call me to engage in some of the activities that I did in the past, and I'd be like, hey, listen, I'm repairing my body right now. Is these another repairing that's going on? So for me to go out there and still use that same energy, I can't do anymore, man. It's crazy, you know. And but sometimes you have to revive the old energy, the youthful you, and whatever you did in the past. And sometimes you want to go out there and go to the beach, you know. But apparently, the beach, a lot of people in the down south ends of Sari want to find themselves in Bognor Ridges, and it's supposedly the worst the beach ever. And wouldn't advise anybody to go there. Ain't trying to kill nobody's business down there, but it's what the papers say. The papers say that Bognor Ridges ain't cutting it. So it's, well, for me, when I decide to go to the beach, I prefer to go to Bournemouth, because Bournemouth, that's where they sand. You can have kids running around and make sand castles, and but usually the thing is, with Portsmouth and Brighton, they got pebbles. So I suppose maybe a bit of places where there's no pebbles. But from what I experienced in the past, going to Portsmouth and Brighton have got pebbles, but Brighton has got a nice side. I mean, nightlife is crazy. What's nice about it as well is that it's 45 minutes from me, so I can just drive about 30 minutes on a train. You see, so it's nice and lovely. It's nearby me. I mean, there's other beaches out there that's up north, and and the east and the west and all these nice places. But yeah, coming from London, the capital city, the best beach you could go to, from my own experience and me to you, is Bournemouth. It's I think it's a bit 2.5 hours, and then you will not be. It's not as bad. I ain't been to Southampton because, well, I passed through Southampton, but I didn't go to their beach because my intention was to go to Portsmouth, and I loved it there, and I was happy, and it's out there. They've got an aquarium, and you can see the dolphins and the small fish and the other different type of fish and other bit of sea life, and it's crazy like that. So maybe one time you might take time and visit the place and have a good time there, because life is about having good time. If you ain't having a good time, then you'll be sorry. And once you can't grow, this is what I always preach to people. If you cannot grow, that's the you will get blown by the wind into a grave. Because what's the point of you being around if you ain't growing anymore? You see. So people, we need to continue to grow, get information, get new skills, action certain things. We continue to do that and increase your worth and your growth. And as a person, you need to be constant. You know, no procrastination. You see, because the moment you procrastinate is the moment things slow down and you start to not grow as fast and you start to not grow as you know and then the next thing is you get blown by the wind into the grave. you know I mean, sometimes I was having conversation with certain people and they're saying how they're constantly doing something positive all the time, and this whole coronavirus didn't uh phase them because they just didn't they didn't even need to get boosted. They didn't need to get vaccinated because they didn't even experience any of that COVID. I was like, oh, is that the case? I was like, yeah, you know. But such is life, and people continue to live with different theories. And let's go to the beach. you know, I mean, I'm a big fan of Nicki Minaj, and let's go to the beach. Yeah, for those that are around and available, find yourself at the beach somewhere and have a good time, because if you ain't having a good time, it's not quite cutting it, because it's not quite nice for you to be uh you know sitting in the home when it's sunny like this. I mean, you'll find yourself getting dark, you know. Yeah, because I'm saying how when you think of topside destination close to Surrey, you might well think of places like Southsea, Brighton, and Littlehampton. And you would be in good company if you did, because all of those score highly in a recent survey rating the UK seaside towns. But with all those options nearby, why on earth are so many Surrey residents choosing to relocate far less glamorous Bognor Regis? You know, S- and then it says the survey by which gave Bognor Regis joint West score of any seaside town in the country, tied only with Skegness in Lincolnshire. Despite this, Bognor Regis is fast becoming a popular option from those living in the Surrey suburbs who want to escape the commuter belt and move to the coast. And I mean, if you're in Bognor Regis, you can actually get a straight train to Victoria. So I mean, if that's the case, then you're able to actually commute daily to work. And but it depends on how wealthy you are, because or in how much your job is paying you. Because imagine, let's put it in perspective. Zone 1 to 5 travel pass, including train and tube, is 204 253, right? So if you're coming from all the way from Bognor Regis every Monday to Friday, how much travel money do you need? You need. So you must be getting paid well over some change. But if you sometimes, when you try to calculate these monies, it's like sometimes you say to yourself, "Oh no, I can't pay this amount of money for train," but then you find that you use the difference with a cheaper train in buying food because you get more later than you expect. You're leaving home earlier than you expect, so you find yourself buying things that you don't need to buy. So sometimes let's not be afraid to use money for something nice. Look after yourself and travel nice. You know, these are the things that I really look into for my life. It's I need to sleep I need to sleep nice. I need to eat nice, and I need to sleep, and I need to travel nice. You know, because those are the things. If we really look into it, those are the things that surround your life. You're either eating, or you're traveling, or you're sleeping. So those three things need to be nice. So in life you need to cater for those things and see that all that is being done for you, because if it's not, then it's chaos. If you're not sleeping nice, you you wake up in the morning and not have enough energy to continue through the day, and the whole day is just miserable. And just imagine that you're not even traveling nice. You get on a bus to the other end of the city, and you can't travel nice. You get to the other end, it's already 3 hours in, and just to think about doing anything while you're there is just chaos. Like your mind is not even there though. you know so you need to be able to travel nice and then eat nice. So imagine you're traveling across the sea and you are hungry. you know Eat some cereal in the morning, eat some nice food in the morning, some full English breakfast in the morning. You get to the other side, you're thinking, you know you can actually toothpick your pick your teeth, you know have a good time and feel good about yourself. you know but those are the things that I live by for myself and I. Me, myself, and I. So maybe you could think of it and apply it to your own self, and it could work. But some if you've got other ideas of what you look after when you're doing and what you prioritize in your life, please share so that we consider, or try to see how we can fit that in. But yeah, this is one of the things this is saying. Yeah. Yeah, I was still saying how a recent story by Marland reported that there's been a significant increase over the past 2 years in people moving to the area from the Green Belt area incorporating Epsom and Guilford. The reason might be the house prices, according to Rightmove, and the average price of the property in Surrey is around 628,000, and almost double the 322 you can expect to pay on average in Bognor. You know. And then this kind of price also makes the town significantly cheaper than neighbors Worthing and Chichester. So life there is supposedly nice in Bognor Regis. Things are cheap there, and you can find yourself some nice houses there, and everything nice. You know, but the problem is when you leave these cities, I have people who moan, and every time they come into London, they're so happy, and they say, "Oh, at least the Uber Eats gets me some Taco Bell." Yes, we got Taco Bells out here in London. We got nice food, and we got Frankie and Penny's out here that does the food that gets to your home, and they've got nice ribs and everything nice. And we got the Tinsel Town, we got Bagel King, we got it's London. So this is one of the things that make me worry sometimes when I have to leave London. People say, "Oh, come here, life is affordable over this side." It's like, hey, it's in as much as it's affordable, it ain't quite like this. It ain't quite like this. So I'm here. I'm happy, and I'll continue to have a good time over here because life is nice. Let's take a break.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep. What's going on? I hope you guys are having a good time. It's Andrew on Relax Radio. We continue to have a good time, and in the hour of one, and everything nice over here because we keep it nice. But something seems to be messing around. This coronavirus thing is messing around because it's doing some crazy things. We are not quite happy with what's going on. You know, what's going on is really, really not cutting it because we thought it was done and we was trying to see if we can uh, deal with this monkeypox. But it seems like it's not. It's messing around. It's getting us all emotional, and that we're trying to hold ourselves, but this is not working because this coronavirus keeps getting people, and you know it's people that are close to us. And the latest numbers, um, it is recorded that there was 30,000 new cases of COVID on the 6th of July. Yeah, and then UK surpasses 200,000 deaths involving COVID-19, sitting at 200,247. So the milestone was reached on the 25th of June, but has only been released today. Yeah. So, you know, whatever reasons, we're trying to, I mean, it's 2 weeks later, more than 2 weeks later, you're only releasing the figure. Like, are you trying to preserve something? Are you trying to protect somebody? Are you trying to, you know? But then this is a bit of a situation that is alarming, and what we, and the point of at a point where the government is in shambles at the moment. you know, when we have Boris doing his thing, it's crazy. It's really crazy is the way things are, and an average of 351,000 people are contracting the virus each day, according to the latest incidence figures from the ZOE COVID study. You know, it's it's actually crazy. We must not just say okay, why, because it's crazy, and we need to really be mindful of what we're doing, where we're doing, and how we're doing it, because it seems like COVID is not quite gone. I suppose many will call it uh, it's a flu variant. It's a flu. It's just like we had the flu jab every year, and but let's try and be, um, cautious in how we're doing our things still. Let's try to continue the way we used to live when the pandemic was on, and how we was doing things. Because now that, COVID is supposedly gone, but not gone, we still are responsible to protect one another from this virus. You know what I mean? And it says, in the week ending 1 July, 1180 11,828 deaths were registered nationwide, with 412 involving coronavirus, which was a 3.48% increase from the previous week. Um, with testing no longer free, data on cases is provided mainly through the ONS week infection survey, which last week showed levels at their highest since April. So what's really going on now? I think, is it because of the week of the weather? I suppose maybe people are much more comfortable in the weather, and because fever and high temperature and all that, and so if you've got an idea what could this be, what this could be, or what the reasons behind all that's going on, please let us know so that we may know how to help ourselves in terms of getting about, and trying to sort ourselves in the thing. But then it follows on to say, um, with testing no longer free data. Okay, so Professor uh, Tim Spector, the lead scientist behind the research, said 1 in 15 people in the UK currently have the virus. It ain't me. But I think, do you know what it is? Because I during this whole pandemic until now, I've never tested positive. But then I think I have been a carrier of this thing, and it's, um, I've been a carrier because I don't feel the same way in terms of I cannot laugh as long as I used to. So I suppose maybe my throat has been damaged a bit by, but then, and also it's like I cannot run as fast as I used to. It's like on the treadmill, I no longer put 10. The whole Telma is big 10. I can no longer do that. I just resort to just getting up to 7.5. So we could be careers. So I think maybe this what happened is the deaths could be caused by for those that didn't get the jabs. Could be one, two. Uh, the those that didn't get the booster and those that were already have chronic diseases. Because I mean, in as much as the boosters may have, in much as the vaccination must have came into play, it's also a situation where how long can it um, help you go through life with the whole situation, you know? So I think maybe could have been one of those factors. And then it goes on to say that Scotland, he added the cases are still rising across England, but flattening in Scotland and Wales. Somebody tell me why. Because I cannot think of uh, the reasons why we're so put aside away from Scotland and Wales, although case and death figures are far below what they were previously in the pandemic. Scientists are warning that COVID is being allowed to run rampant, increasing pressure on the NHS. Yeah, because I mean, it's as things have become now. Northampton is actually Northampton NHS have actually advised that when you come into the hospital, you need to wear a mask, and I suppose staff there also wear masks. So we really need to be mindful on how we do things, where we do things, and how why we do things, because uh, sometimes you know it could come with consequences, and it could never be sweet. You know, next time we meet, we at the grave. We don't want that. You know what I mean? And then it says, people of Black, British, and Pakistan origins were also less than half as likely to have had their booster jabs compared to those of white British origin, despite being more vulnerable. Uh, I think maybe let's just okay. I'll skip this because I believe that this was propaganda. I suppose maybe it's not, but I just want to skip this because I'll lie. Yeah, and then it says the PAC report also warns that only 30% of children aged 12 to 15 have received two doses compared to 55% of 16 to 17-year olds. Research by the UK Health Security Agency has confirmed that both full and booster vaccinations reduce the risk of someone falling ill, being admitted to hospital, or dying after catching the virus. So yeah, something is coming up that you know these kids didn't these kids are not quite getting the whole thing. You know, you need to get the booster. Get the booster. I mean, you've got your own thoughts, but if you're under 18, if you were my child and you just hey, listen, get yourself sorted. There's things that you don't you don't question. Just get it. You know. Infection rates are also continuing to rise in all age groups, but are beginning to level out in children. The research shows. The latest government data released on Tuesday showed that overall attendance in schools in state schools adjusted to exclude year 11 and 13 students sitting exams fell to 86.9% on the 7th of July, down from 89.4% on 23 June. Well, I suppose maybe the idea is about that kids not attending school because of COVID. Sometimes it could be true, but there's variation because one could say, "Mom, I don't want to go to school today." Why? 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 Mommy, because I got coronavirus. you know and then you become a statistic. So um, maybe, maybe not. So it's there's loopholes all the way there. So we could well say, but as long as we can no longer test for free now, and it's just another thing. But anyway, uh, what I would say is that don't surrender to the scaremongering. Get your booster if offered, and if you are particularly vulnerable, take sensible steps to protect yourself. Take sensible steps to protect yourself because we still need you.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. A pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. A pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep, guys. Relax Radio Lunchman Show with Andrew. I know you like that. But yes, it's going on all around us, and it's as crazy you might seem, people are actually out there and going through the most. This coronavirus situation going on. It's not quite nice to hear of people dying, and especially now that it has been said that after, well, during the pandemic you could understand, but now you think that everybody's got the booster and everybody's continuing to do their thing, but to hear that somebody died with the link to coronavirus, it's a bit ish, you know you you think to yourself that people are still dying. People are still dying of this pandemic, of this coronavirus. It's coronavirus. It's coronavirus. Hey, jokes aside, it's coronavirus. You know, it's not quite nice to be losing people because of such things. Did you guys have a look at David Beckham's son doing his thing, like father like son? I suppose you did. I mean, it's all over the news, and I saw it myself, and I was like, ah, well, that's cool. When you see a father, a son following the dad's footsteps, it's cool. I mean, you look at a lot of these young celebrities, fathers who whose sons became somebody almost like them. It's it's interesting. It's really interesting because you off the father first and foremost, but yeah, it's really interesting to see that Romeo Beckham honors his dad David with stunning free kick for Inter Milan, Inter Miami too, as Manchester United legends expresses pride in his son. You know, out there in America, being a part of, and then his son is part of the team, and life is sweet, and it's great. You know, it's well, if I had a son, I would I would want to know what they could end up being because it's a thing where I wouldn't want to think they want to be what I want to be because it's one of those things where I looked at my dad and I looked at myself and I looked at my mom and I think I had I had a my mom is a nurse and I've been working in the healthcare industry for some time. I worked in the healthcare industry for some time and my dad was black. So I suppose maybe that was a fair share of my fair share of experience of what my mom was in terms of her career, and then my dad as a clerk. How does it link? So I suppose a clerk is the one that does the whole writing stuff, and so I'm gonna be writing movies in a minute. You know, watch this space. So I'm gonna be writing movies in a minute. So just maybe now going forward, it's just gonna be me writing, creating stuff that connects with the people and and help us learn, entertain, and educate. So that's I've done fair share part of my mom's side of things, you know, and now is I'm going to be the person that's maybe I'll be a write movies about people in hospital. But that's a good idea because listen, um some things are genetic. This is what we understand. And but then some things are genetic and some things are passed down, the whole um lineage where you find that yes, I think I've said this before. To sort of find your purpose, find out where who's who's your parent, like what do they do? Then that way you would find out maybe this is who you'd become. A mixture of the two or the other, or you know what I mean? So I might be writing movies um, about or series or that are to do with the hospital, or you might find me acting in Hobbies if it's still if it still exists in films like Hobbies and being a doctor and I'll be walking around like hey you know listen let's get these you know Patients saw it because this is what they need, and or I might be a character um who's mad, who's got mental health. You know, I think that would be a sick meal. Just doing, I think I can portray a mental health actor and patient who's in an institution. Who's because I think I've worked so many years in that. I worked in that setting for a while, and I think I can now be one of them. Sometimes when you find yourself coming home and doing all and doing all the things that the patients do, and sometimes you you're affected in a way, and sometimes it's like some actors claim that they sometimes find it difficult to come out of character, and I would think sometimes nursing in a mental health setting makes you sort of uh, you know get absorbed into the whole setting, and sometimes but what I appreciate is that it helped me um, be able to tolerate, because pretty much you're paid to be tolerant to somebody who's not quite like you. That's the thing, and you're just there to tolerate them calling, yeah, I don't know, you big head, you, yeah, what, just, it's okay. You you're not yourself. You are in a state, but sometimes it's behavior, and get a few punches there and there, and experience life like you know some punches there and there. I mean, what's his name? Mike Tyson is saying his best 3 years of his life was the time he was in prison, and reveals he dented his cell concrete floor with constant training, which led to 5 stone weight loss. You know, and he recalls his time in prison and described it as the best 3 years of his life. He's at the age of 56, and I remember he went into the into prison because of rape allegation. I don't know how it played out, but he ended up in jail. But this is the thing, though. If you find yourself, if they find you guilty, although you've got a story to tell about behind the whole situation now, if you find yourself in that situation where you end up in jail, in as much as you try to justify yourself and say, I actually didn't do it because I'm a celebrity, they took advantage of the situation, and so what element is true is my question. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the whole situation and say, oh no, I was innocent, and but then you ended up in jail. Of course, we may say, "Oh, yeah, the judge made a wrong error." There's an element that was true, because we wouldn't have got here if there was nothing. You know what I mean? So even sometimes when people are found innocent, and because it says innocent proven guilty, yes, we get that, but it's like, um, how did we get here? Because if you then try to analyze how people got where they got to court, you'll discover that 9 out of 10 chances there was something wrong. Something was done, but something that was covered up. Because many times, if you go into these court cases, and you have been, you know, I've had situations where I ended up in court, but I was surprised on how things ended up. It's like, hold on, um, I thought it was going to be heavier than that, and then it's like you hear somebody who's got the same situation, who's had it more worse than that. It's like, okay, so the judge said the final verdict. and then my lawyer managed to sort ourselves, and you know what I mean. So it's like whatever, however you go into court, there was something wrong. There was something that needed judgment, and some judgment was made impaired because somebody played with words and made something sweet. There's something. I don't believe that somebody, you know, goes into court for nothing. How do you end up finding yourself in court? You know, so it's crazy. Yep, it's the last quarter of the Lunch Munch show with Andrew on Relax Radio. I hope you guys are having a good time and wherever you are and however you are. Everything nice over here because we live a good life. We can't complain. We look for solutions, and that's our life. We like what we do, and we do what we like. Same as you. So what I would ask everybody out there is, what would you do if money wasn't the problem? You know, what would you do? What would you be doing if money wasn't the problem? Um, you know, if money wasn't the problem, you'd be doing something. So try to think of that something that you would do and see how that which you would do if money wasn't a problem, you could actually do, and how it could generate you money. Because you never know. You could be suffering, and you know You could be suffering doing what you don't like, and yet there's something that you like, which you could do and which could make you money, and which you could get money while you do what you like. So try to think of things that will sort of make you happy, and then do them and see how much money it could bring you. Then you'd be in a position of happiness, because then sometimes you need to take down downsize your lifestyles just to sort of get to where you want to go, because such comes with life. Because the more you become arrogant and hold on to that good life that's expensive to sustain, it's the more you lose. Winners downscale and build up, you know. So downscale, lay a foundation, and then build up. Because once you try to become somebody that you're not, it's a problem. It's every time poor people always want the things that they consider as they've made it, and then what do? They create debt, and what happens is they remain in debt. And is that life? No. So try to downscale life, and then build up, lay a foundation, and build up from there. Because we overlook these things, but they're real and they happen. And the last thing that we want is for you to live in debt and appear looking good. But because I suppose it's cool, because all that's here is vanity. Because at the end of the day, when you die, you leave everything here. But then at the same time, um, you need to just try and live a better life with you know with a purpose, and with able to be independent and do things the way you would prefer to do, without giving anybody any trouble. you know so it's such things that happen that we overlook and find yourselves in mud. Well, money is where the mud is, but then you don't want to find yourself, money is in the trenches, but then you don't want to find yourself in the trenches for no reason. You know what I mean? Just in the because of foolishness. you know so you need to create a mindset where you are building, because growth is life, and without growth there's no life. You know what I mean? So it's why we have to sort of we don't look at problems like they're problems. They're actually challenges. And once you challenge, you win on those challenges, then you're a winner. And bring on the next challenge. That's life. But if you get comfortable, you know it's crazy. you know because the comfort zone is makes the mind stagnant. Everybody is looking to be content, but that's not ideal, because once you're content, you're not in a space where you can learn new things, and grow. Because when you're content, you don't you know it never ends. You just work till you die. You just you know keep looking for food till you die. you know and I mean, that's the problem with us, is that when we gain more money, we increase our expenses. You see, that's the challenge that we have. So we need to be able to I always tell myself that dark or blue, I 10% of my earnings is saved for investments. So in whatever I do, 10% goes to my to my savings and investments, because you're more likely to spend. But if you've got something that you can put aside and say, listen, I'm going to save this and put it to, I'm going to plant it somewhere, then there's a chance of you getting out of the whole cycle of poverty. But if you don't do that, you'll always be affected and you'll be always mourning about how you're broke. Brokenness is not quite nice because everybody who's broke is complaining about something. You know, if you're always complaining about something, you're inviting more things that you will complain about. So try and change your ways and appreciate life. Take heed of something that's good and positive. Do things that will enhance your growth. Be somebody in life who people will look up to and say, this guy is doing his thing. This girl is doing his thing. So I approach everybody who's doing their thing to holler at me and let's share this on this platform and make others realize that let's keep doing our thing. You know, I look for people who are doing their thing. Tomorrow I'm having a guest by the name of Dr. Nzima who's going to have a conversation with me and share some of the things of his ideologies that I think could be um, good for us to learn and about anything, everything, and anybody will be there um, to listen and comment and find out some more things and share experience and so forth. Will be more than welcome to hit the comment section and reach out and have a fun 1 hour. So yeah, um, every Thursday we have somebody to come and hang out with us on the Lunchman Show. Uh, share a few things and see how they're getting on with life and how they're doing their thing. And if you want to come on and share how you're doing your thing, just reach out and we can make arrangements and make things happen. You know. But in the meantime, I hope you guys look after yourself and don't forget to tune in tomorrow because it's going to be wild. We'll be dropping things that you ain't never heard before. And you realize some of the things that are being said are going to be something that helpful for your own life. So for now, take care of yourself and your loved ones.